Your dream is not too big. You just haven't started yet. They told Napoleon Hill his ideas were foolish. They told David Goggins his body would never survive. They told James Clear that habits were too simple to matter. They were wrong. What if I told you that the size of your dream is not the problem? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you imagine is the gap between who you are today and who you are willing to become? Today, we go deep into 3 of the most powerful books ever written on human potential. Think and Grow Rich, Atomic Habits, Can't Hurt Me, and by the end of this video, you will never look at your dream the same way again. In 1937, Napoleon Hill published what would become one of the most read books in human history. Think and Grow Rich, a book born not from theory, but from 20 years of studying 500 of the most successful people who ever lived. Carnegie, Ford, Edison, Lincoln, and the single thread that ran through every single one of them? A burning desire. Hill said this: all achievement, all earned riches, have their beginning in an idea. But the idea alone is not enough. What separates the dreamer who wakes up one day and realizes their life passed them by from the person who actually builds the life they imagined is the intensity of the want. Not a weak wish, not a vague hope, a burning, obsessive, relentless desire that keeps you up at night and gets you up in the morning. Hill gave us 6 steps to turn a burning desire into reality. Fix the exact amount of wealth or achievement you want. Don't say, I want more money. Say, I want $10,000 by December 31st. Decide what you will give in return. There is no such thing as something for nothing. Establish a definite date. Dreams without deadlines are just daydreams. Create a definite plan and begin immediately, even if you're not ready. Write it all down. Put it on paper. Make it real. Read it aloud twice a day. When you wake up, when you sleep. Here's what most people miss about Napoleon Hill's teaching. He never said the dream would be easy. He said the dream would be worth it. He said the moment you commit, truly commit, the universe begins to align resources, people, and coincidences in your direction. But you have to go first. Napoleon Hill gave you the desire. Now let's talk about the engine that actually moves you forward. James Clear's Atomic Habits is not a motivational book. It is an engineering manual for human behavior. And the most important idea in it will challenge everything you think success looks like. If you improve by just 1% every single day, after 1 year, you will be 37 times better than when you started. 37 times. That's not motivation. That's math. But here's the brutal flip side. If you get 1% worse every day, you drift to nearly 0. The gap between the person you want to become and the person you're becoming right now is built one tiny decision at a time. Clear makes a distinction that changed the way I think about everything. Goals are not the problem. Almost everyone has goals. The difference is your system. Goals tell you where you're going. Systems are what actually get you there. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So how do you build a system that works? Clear gives us the 4 laws of behavior change. Law 1, make it obvious. Put your running shoes by the door. Keep your book on the pillow. Design your environment to make the right choice the easy choice. Law 2, make it attractive. Pair the habit you need to do with something you want to do. Only listen to your favorite podcast while you walk. Only watch your favorite show while you work out. Law 3, make it easy. Start with 2 minutes. Not an hour. Not a full workout. 2 minutes. The goal is to show up every single day, even if the show up is tiny. Law 4, make it satisfying. Track your progress. Use a habit tracker. Feel the satisfaction of the streak. Never miss twice. But here's where it gets deep. And this is the part most people skip. Clear says every habit is a vote for the identity you want to become. When you go for a run, even a short one, you are casting a vote for, I am the kind of person who moves their body. When you write one paragraph of your script, you are casting a vote for, I am a creator. When you save even $1, you are casting a vote for, I am a person who builds wealth. The goal is not to achieve the dream in one leap. The goal is to become the kind of person who cannot help but achieve that dream. Identity first. Results follow. Now we go somewhere most people don't want to go. David Goggins, former Navy SEAL, ultramarathon runner, world record pull-up holder, and a man who started life with every excuse to fail. Abusive father, poverty, obesity, learning disabilities, racism, failure after failure after failure. And yet, 8:30, Goggins doesn't write about motivation. He writes about something most people are too comfortable to face. He calls it the 40% rule. When your mind tells you that you're done, that you've hit your limit, you have only used 40% of your actual capacity. The other 60%? It's locked behind a door your comfort zone refuses to open. Think about that in the context of your dream. The moment it gets hard, and it will get hard, your brain will begin negotiating with you. It will say, "You've done enough today. You can rest tomorrow. This dream is too big for someone like you." That voice is not wisdom. That voice is your comfort zone trying to keep you small. Goggins says you must learn to embrace suffering. Not because suffering is the goal, but because on the other side of the suffering is the version of you that you've been waiting for. He introduces a powerful concept called callousing the mind. A callus on your hand forms when you do hard things repeatedly. The skin thickens. What once hurt now doesn't. The same thing happens to your mind. Every time you do something hard, every cold shower, every early morning, every time you show up when you don't wanna, you are building mental armor that cannot be taken from you. Goggins also uses something he calls an accountability mirror. Every morning, he stood in front of his mirror and told himself the truth. No filters, no excuses. He looked at where he was. He acknowledged the gap between that and where he wanted to be. And then he made a deal with himself to close the gap, one day at a time. David Goggins didn't wait until he felt ready. He didn't wait for perfect conditions. He decided that he was the one variable he could control, and he worked on that variable every single day with the ferocity of someone who had everything to prove. Because he did. And so do you. So what happens when you put these three forces together? Napoleon Hill gives you the desire, the burning, specific, unapologetic decision that your dream is real and worth fighting for. James Clear gives you the system, the daily 1% that compounds silently, invisibly, until one day it becomes undeniable. David Goggins gives you the grit, the capacity to keep going when 40% of you wants to stop, knowing the other 60% is waiting on the other side. This is the warrior's formula. Burning desire plus atomic system plus iron grit equals the dream realized. Not the dream as a wish. The dream is a destination you are walking toward every single day. Let me speak to you directly for a moment. Maybe you have a dream that feels too big. A business, a channel, a life that looks nothing like the one you were handed. Maybe people around you don't see it. Maybe your current circumstances make it feel impossible. I want you to hear this. Napoleon Hill interviewed people who came from nothing and built empires. James Clear documented how invisible 1% changes created extraordinary lives. David Goggins literally rewired his biology through sheer refusal to quit. None of them waited for permission. None of them waited for perfect timing. Your dream is not too big. You just haven't built the system yet. You just haven't stayed long enough yet. You just haven't pushed past that 40% yet. But today, starting right now, that can change. Before you close this video, I need you to do something right now. Not tomorrow. Right now. Step 1. Write down one dream. The big one. The one that feels almost too scary to say out loud. Write it with a specific outcome and a specific date. Step 2. Identify one atomic habit you can start today that moves you toward it. Not a big one. A 2-minute one. Step 3. Look at yourself in the mirror tonight and ask, am I willing to become the person this dream requires? That's it. 3 steps. That's your homework. Because the warrior is not made in one moment of inspiration. The warrior is made in the 1,000 quiet moments when no one is watching, and you show up anyway. If this video moved you, if even one idea in here made something click, share it with one person who needs it. That's how the movement grows. Subscribe to 1% Warrior. Because every week, we come back here and we do the work. Not for applause, not for the algorithm, for the person you are becoming. I'm Eugene, and this is the 1% Warrior channel. See you next time. Stay in the fight.